Got Your Back Podstream is brought to you by Mr. Dirk. From casual wear to suits and formals, Mr. Dirk helps you find the perfect fit with the right look for any occasion. Step up your wardrobe at mrdirk.com. How we doing tonight, folks? Welcome to Got Your Back. That's a little more like it, hey? Oilers putting together a pretty complete effort. Their first road game. A 4-2 win over the Nashville Predators. We'll get to Struds and Zubie in just a minute. I am nice and cozy at home here in my Adrenaline Diesel studio, where the podcast is coming to you from, now with an online store for all your diesel truck parts needs. Check out adrenalinediesel.ca. Oilers with a real solid performance tonight, a much needed one after a shaky start and some inconsistent play. And looking forward to digging into this one and breaking it down a little bit with Struds. As always, the show brought to you by Play Alberta, our title sponsor. Skate over to playalberta.ca, get in on odds, boosts, player props, and other ways to make game time more interesting. Deposit today and you will get a $50 free bet with the code GYB10. So that is the code GYB10 over at playalberta.ca. Zubie, hop on in here too, my friend, as we say good evening to Jason Strudwick and the birthday boy. I'm sensing from your contribution into the group chat, Zubie, that I don't know if it's some bragging you had to do about a certain goaltending performance on your birthday, or what happened, bud?
Well, it was bragging, but it was very maybe serendipitous is the word. I made on my 47th birthday, I made 47 saves in a 4-1 winning effort. On 48 shots, I made 47 saves on my 47th birthday. So yeah, I was pretty proud of that. It was a good game. I have an OT loss this season, but I haven't taken a regulation loss so far. So I'm having a nice start to the beer league season, which is, very long and arduous, as we know.
That's great. That's pretty impressive. That's a pretty impressive night for anyone. So congrats, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice feeling. You walked in. Did you wake your wife up to tell her when you got home?
I did. Yeah. Right away.
Hey, not right now. No, I'm tired. No. Hey, no, not that.
Not that.
This is important. This is important.
This is important.
This bit of news might lead to that. You might be so impressed.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not the intention.
Oh, yeah. That is just an absolute aphrodisiac for the ladies. Your goaltending statistics at 12:45 a.m.
Yeah.
As you give them the nudge and wake them up. Good stuff. Well, congratulations. And you had a good birthday, Zubie. It was good. So,
really nice. Yeah.
Quality time, family, all that.
Nice massages with the wife, couples massage with the wife, and took my son to his hockey, and we all went out for dinner, family dinner, and then I got to go play my hockey game. So it was a very full day, and then out for a few pops with the team to celebrate. I had I got the belt for my performance, for my 47 save performance, and
nice.
Yeah, nice. It was a well into the evening hours, so yeah, it was lots of fun. Great day, wonderful day.
Neil Garrity here on the stream says, beer league goalies count saves? ? Yes, Neil. Zubie counts his saves in beer league. He pays a friend to come sit in the stands and count the shots.
No, dude, they count. It's up on the scoreboard, the person, and then it goes online. If people, you can probably Google my stats if you were so bored. It's out there somewhere. It's online, so that's how I know. But it was I don't count them in my head except for when they get it wrong. When I'm like, they put 28 up there, but it was more like 36. Then I know.
Dude.
48 was bang on though.
I wonder if those are as well kept as the Oiler hit stats tonight. I don't know, Struds. Was it a 7-hit night for the Oilers? I mean, that's what the stat sheet says. That feels a little sketchy to me. I mean, I pay attention to the hits. You know me.
Yeah, it feels really light. It does feel light. I don't think that they were blowing up the hit chart, but 7 hits, that's 1 every 10 minutes, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there was more than that. Anyways, congratulations on the win, Zubie. We got Freezer Bag in here saying enough rambling. So Zubie, as the arbiter of the chat, Freezer Bag feels that giving you a little credit for your night and wishing you a happy birthday constitutes rambling. So I'll leave you to deal with him in the chat group as you see fit. But how dare you, Freezer Bag? Zubie needed a little love tonight.
You know, with this new software, I think I can ban people in one click now. It used to be a two-click process. But
yeah, Freezer Bag spent a bunch of time. He spent a bunch of time in the penalty box last season. Let's see if he's turned over a new leaf here in season 4.
It's all
but with that said, we do need to stop the rambling. So let's get to our breakdown, Freezer Bag, shall we? Brought to you by Alberta Ram Dealers. The Cross Canada Clear Out is here at your Alberta Ram dealer. Get 15% off MSRP off 2024 Ram 1500 DT Bighorn trucks. They're beauties. That's over $9,900 in discounts. Check out your Alberta Ram dealer today. So the Oilers get off the schneid last game, Struds. They managed to peel out a win. Wasn't perfect, but they got the win. And I would say whatever happened in the air on the way to Nashville, a little more refinement in their game that we saw here tonight. Much more complete, would you agree?
Yeah, for sure. And I think, it showed itself in a few different ways. I think that especially early, the shot total, it's pretty hard for the other team to score if they're not getting shots. And I think it was, I don't know if it was 10 minutes, pretty damn close to 10 minutes before Nashville got their first shot. I thought the Oilers had chances early. And, for the most part, even the shots that Nashville did get, they limited their chances. They weren't like, there wasn't chance after chance after chance. Like they were all pretty good, pretty savable pucks. And then Pickard saved the ones that, they give up 2 goals. I'll take that from my backup goalie, man. 2 goals against on the road against a team that should be ultra hungry to win. I take that one and walk out of there pretty happy.
Yeah, they got down in this game too. So I think it was, good that they held. And then Brett Kulak, kind of he's got a sneaky shot at times, Struts. He doesn't do it a lot, but every once in a while he'll get one off and you're kind of like, oh, you should shoot the puck a little bit more. Like, I don't know, a bit of a seeing eye shot there, but contribution from a D-man to tie up a game after going down on the road. I like that.
Yeah, so I think what Kulak does really well is he's so mobile, right? He's got a lot of mobility. And on that sequence where he scores, he gets one shot, and then the puck kind of ricochets around and comes back to him, and he's able to get back in place and hammer it again. And just because he's so mobile, he gets around the ice, even the empty netter. If I'm spoiling for anyone, sorry, but on the empty netter, he's able to get to the puck, get himself around the puck, and fire that thing really quickly. Because a lot of times not a lot of times, pretty much every time for a D, there's a lane and then there isn't. It's like lane, no lane. That's how quick. So you've got to get it through that lane really quick. And when you can get to that shooting position quicker, like he does, you can get it through. So yeah, I mean, I think that Kulak could probably get more pucks to the net. I think he errs on the side of caution, which I do respect. But I think just the way he skates, he's able to create and then get to those shooting lanes, which is definitely an advantage. Use it, man. Go for it.
Let's get to the Weiss Johnson soundbox right away here. 2-goal night for Kulak. Here he is.
We kept it pretty simple, and we kind of understand like it's not always going to go perfect, and I think that's put a lot of pressure on ourselves to start the season well. I think in the first few games we get so discouraged when it's not going perfect, but I thought it was like that tonight. We just kind of stuck with the game plan and just chipped away and found a way to get the puck in the back of the net.
A reminder that the cold is coming, so it's time to get that garage heated on up. Enjoy the luxury of a warm vehicle or heated man cave this winter. Visit Weiss-Johnson.com today.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Dennis, I think, joining us on the stream tonight from Weiss Johnson, I believe. So a warm welcome to Dennis. So you've got the Kulak with a couple of goals. I want to get to Connor McDavid here, Struds, because, I think we all know that he hasn't really hit that stride yet. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Dennis Johnson watching on YouTube for the first time. Jingle time. Welcome, Dennis. Love it. Connor McDavid, Struds, there was something that clicked in. And I believe it truly clicked in after the Marchessault goal. to make it 2-2. That next shift, that was like Connor McDavid and that line got out on the ice and they hit a level that I'm not sure they'd been at so far this year. Like they were just, he was just going. So I think that was a big swing for McDavid in particular, but for that big line to get out there and swing the game back in their direction. Not that confidence is an issue with these guys, Struds, but I think that's a big deal for that line to have gone and gotten one back right away like that.
It must be nice to decide as a line, we're going to go out and we're just going to take this game back over, right? Like they just decided like we're not going to be stopped. And, that whole shift in there in the offensive zone against Nashville and those players on Nashville, their heads were spinning, trying to figure out where a guy's coming from. They're all over the place. Pucks are flying at the net. And we've seen that from the Oilers top line in the past, right? In last year, we hadn't really seen it a lot this year because the Oilers are almost out of that 4-minute penalty kill, right? Paul Coles, and I wish they'd overturn that. I didn't really like that one because it bounced off the guy's sticks, but nonetheless, they're almost out of it. Then they get scored on because normally when they're not scored on, that big line would go out, but they still put the big line out, and that line just said, no, we're going to score. And ultimately, it was a difference in the game. So Connor he put his head down. I think it was a more direct type of play. Like we're getting pucks to net, we're using our D-man, we're getting to the net. And I've said it in the past, I felt, maybe not so much against Philly, but the prior games to that, like there was just too many passes that you're in a shooting spot, shoot it. If you feel you have a lane to the net, you're in the slot, let it fly. Yeah, the goalie might save it, but let's get pucks to net and kind of create some ugliness around that area.
Yeah, to me, he seemed to hit a level of speed and playmaking at the same time that we've kind of been waiting for him to find that, and it's like, I'm not sure if he's maybe been bobbling some pucks or he just hasn't really seemed to hit that zone where it's like the whole game slows down for him and he's going ultra speed. And I really thought he found it on that shift. And I love your point too. Like he really simplified on his shot selection, man. He was not looking to pass it into the net tonight. McDavid had 11 shot attempts tonight. 4 of them ended up on net. That is massive, I think, for McDavid to have a night like that where he's thinking shoot. I love that in his mindset. I think that's going to really serve him well, and it served them well tonight. So I think it was a bit of a shift tonight. At least I noticed it in McDavid, Struds.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess if I were to have one critique of the game, they didn't score enough. And that's,
power play.
nice.
We'll get to the power play next segment, but that's a big part of it.
I'm just talking to everything. I'm talking power play. I'm talking five, and I'm not just saying they being the top line. I'm saying in general. They had quite a few chances, but you look at the goals, like they were all kind of ugly. Just call it what it is. The first goal, there's just people all over the place in front. The second goal, same thing. The third goal, McDavid's. I think the puck was going one way and UC Soros went the other way. So there was just a scramble in front, and Connor, you and I could have scored that one. Then then the empty netter. So there weren't any beauties scored in that goal in that game tonight, which is fine. But if they could have found one more, whether it was, and we will talk about the power play, but 5-on-5 or power play, whatever, like just that one more goal, just to make that last 10-minute ride a little more enjoyable instead of so hectic. But honestly, probably this year, early in the year, it's probably not a bad thing for them to feel stress down the stretch in the game.
Lots of people on the stream asking, what did you think of Darnell Nurse and his night tonight and his look with Troy Stetcher again?
It is easier when you play the same guy, over and over again. Mm-hmm. I thought Darnell was good. I think taking that fight for what I would call really nothing major, right? But he stood up. McCarron ran into Nuge, and I didn't really think that was a big issue. But he went in there and stood up there and said, "Yeah, hey, like that's crap." So, and then he fought him right away after. I like that. I do like that, and the Oilers scored right after. But whether or not it impacts this game, it lets everyone around the league know that you're willing to do it. Right. So it's not actually doing it that's a threat. It's the threat of you doing it that is the threat, especially in today's NHL. So I liked it. On the flip side, Stetcher, I thought today his size was a real issue. He's not a very big guy. On the first goal, like this is why it's harder for smaller defense in the NHL, right? It just, I thought he was on the wrong side of a lot of puck battles. He competes though. He competes all over the place, getting out muscled, squeezed out, but he's fine. Like, he competes really hard and he never backs down. And I love that about him. But sometimes if you're that size, you're going against a big man, and he's competing too. Everyone's trying to compete. So it's a lot of physics that takes over, Shaggy.
Yeah, no, that's a great point by you. On McCarron, I don't know if this has anything to do with Nurse being willing to fight him, but I believe it was him who a couple of shifts before really popped Draisaitl on the back check. So Draisaitl stepped across the blue line and snapped a shot. McCarron came cross ice. I won't call it blindside, but Draisaitl didn't really see him and popped him hard. And Draisaitl was pissed. Like, he sort of looked around, and I thought to myself, oh, he's going to go take a penalty. He's going to go take a penalty. But he didn't. He calmed himself down and he was good. But I believe that was McCarron that did that. And I don't know if that would have had anything to do with Nurse sort of willing to engage, because the guy a few times now is stepping into a few guys here or there. But listen, man, I'm never going to criticize Nurse for that. I think that's great. That shows he's engaged. That shows he's willing to put his body on the line. It sends a message to his teammates that he's got them looked after. I love seeing that from Darnell Nurse. Not that he needs to be fighting all the time, but just Darnell Nurse is at his best when he's playing with some gamesmanship. And I think the more he brings that, the better. But interesting point you make on Stetcher, and it'll be interesting to see. What have you thought of Emberson here the last, I guess he got back in here, but what have you thought of him since getting back in? You feel like you were really adamant that the third pair was where he belonged, and now he's maybe getting to settle in a little bit there more comfortably.
Yeah, I think the idea of him playing second pairing to start the year was a mistake. And I mean, I guess I was proven right, and I wish I was wrong. But when you look at a young player like that, put him somewhere he can be comfortable and do what he does best. He skates well, and he does make good first passes. Like, I think there's something here, guys. But don't make him figure that out playing on the second pairing. Like, it's really tough. So I've been encouraged the way he moves the puck. He skates in, he's jumping up in plays. And this gives a little more flexibility. So now you've got a really good, the third pairing, both those guys really skate well and they cover a lot of ice together. So, 2 games in with Kulak, I'm not going to say this is, Coffee and Charlie Huddy, but I do like the pairing. I think that he looks, the word I'd use is comfortable, looks a lot more comfortable there. So I'd let this run for a while. Like, if you're going to pull out anyone, and I'm not suggesting Stetcher should come out, but take Stetcher out and then have that be the flip-flop line. Let Emerson figure himself out. Let him get dialed in.
For sure. CK Pond says, I love it when Struddy says he's proven himself right. Gives himself a self-high five. Love it from CK Pond. We keep score on this show, CK. Hey, Struds, we keep score of our wins because we sure hear about it when we take losses.
Well, there's a lot I've got wrong, but there's just sometimes sugar things that you can just see it coming. They're like, putting that guy in that spot is not the right place. It's not going to work out. So start him lower, then let him move up. And because then you feel like a failure when you go down. When you start low and move up, you're like, oh man, look how good I'm doing, right? So I think Knobloch got this one wrong. I don't think.
Shane Matheson throws in the Nurse last 2-minute shift with the net empty was great in his own end. Won the battle in his own end. So in our analysis of Darnell Nurse, we'll include that last shift where he was on the ice when it mattered, made some good plays, showed some good patience, and I mean that's what you need from this guy, Struds. When he can play that way, there's a lot of value there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting. I can see he and Ekholm are starting on the penalty kill. Usually as the top two top 2 players to kill penalties. But the one thing I saw from Darnell, and I cannot understand it, there's a face off to the right of Pickard, and he was on lefty, and Ekholm was right. Darnell Nurse was standing right in front of the goalie, screening him, and Pickard was looking around him. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is the advantage there? Step left half a step right half a step. But don't step right in front of your goalie. I don't think the national player would have seen it. Maybe they're taking a shot. Have at it.
Couple of decent games here for Skinner. Like, Skinner's putting a little point streak together. It's nice and tidy. he looks pretty good on that third line. I think that third line looks pretty darn good as well. So a few good games in a row here for Skinner. Here he is post-game as we go back to the Weiss Johnson soundbox.
Yeah, I mean, today I kind of just, someone slid and put it in. I was just the last guy to touch it. But I think every day, every game, I started feeling more comfortable. I think I felt better as it's gone along. I think guys have done a great job off the ice. Just kind of feel welcome right away. But obviously, there's a lot of guys in here that have been together for a while, have some great chemistry, and sliding in, I think, to kind of play off some of those guys. I think it's going to be an adjustment, but I think it's gotten better every time I've been out there, and hopefully can keep building.
I've been pretty impressed, Struds. I in the back of my mind when the year was starting, I was thinking, this is lining up to not be great. Just the way he looked in preseason, the way the line looked, it was like, this is Knobloch. I think it was a pretty savvy move putting the line together that he did, and putting him where he did, I will say, more than anything. And he's looked pretty good, man.
In preseason, I'm like, Arvidsson's going to score 100 goals this year, and Skinner will be on waivers by November. No, I wasn't saying that, but I thought Arvidsson looked so great in preseason, making plays and all over the puck. And now it's kind of gone the other way, hasn't it? Like Skinner's the one who's kind of been shining here, and the points obviously help a lot. If he's getting points, he's feeling good about himself. And Arvidsson hasn't. I don't believe he has a point yet. So it's interesting to see how the two guys have kind of gone and not that Arvidsson's playing bad, but offensively at least getting points. But yeah, Skinner, he's been more competitive than he was in preseason. But again, preseason is a hard thing to judge. I hate it's like judging someone their best or worst day, right? But he has been competitive on the puck. He skates obviously really well. I mean, the way he uses edges and stuff, it's such a cliche. But anyways, he's been just fine. Not just fine, he's been really good on that line and creating on that line.
Was also looking pretty good during his intermission interview. This caught my eye, Struds. I've never seen a guy at an intermission throw on a zip up for his interview with Gene. Look at that. Have you ever? I've never seen that before. Like, who takes their gear off and then gets dressed in some casual clothing between periods.
Yeah, and puts the hat on to top off the outfit, right? So I don't really know. Like, to me,
I know why he's doing it.
You're quite hot. You're quite warm. You come in and usually guys, like, I never wanted to take my stuff off. I wanted to leave it on just so I felt like, okay, I put it on once, I'm good to go. But guys that would take it off would always say, because they're so hot. I'm so hot. So you're hot, and then you put a 3/4 zip hoodie on. The old Peyton Manning special.
You know why he's doing that, though, right?
What's that?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he wears a neck guard. And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe those neck guards only come down to like here. So it's like a dicky, like what was in Christmas Vacation? What was Cousin Eddie wearing underneath the sweater? So his neck guard is here. I believe it only comes down to here, and it would look goofy on camera. Is that not why?
Well, I never even thought of it. I mean, because
there are neck guards that
are there are neck guards that are attached to your.
I think it has to do with the neck guard, man.
Yeah, that's really quite astute observation. I didn't even consider that. I guess because some neck guards are attached to the long underwear, right? And you just put it on.
Yeah. Zubie, when we're in the commercial break, see if you can get a screenshot of Cousin Eddie, and we'll let everyone know what I was talking about. I think maybe he was worried about that look, the Cousin Eddie look from Christmas
Cousin
Vacation.
Eddie, he's wearing it. It's just see-through through the sweater. His sweater's like see-through, so that's why you can see the dicky. Yeah,
I know. Okay, let's get to our Relentless Player of the Night, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services, an Edmonton charity relentless in helping youth age 16 to 24 get out of harm's way and find employment in our community. Visit ucan.ca to see how your donation could change lives right here in our community. Got your back, a very proud monthly donor of UCAN Youth Services. If you can, we encourage you to do the same. Just a great local charity. Proud to be partnered with them here on the show. Struds, who's got Relentless Player tonight, buddy?
Yeah, I'm stepping away from this game, buddy. When you get a hat trick and an assist in a game and make it look easy, you get it. Artemi Panarin tonight, 4 points. And when I say he made it look easy, he made it look easy. He was just wheeling and dealing. So New York Rangers forward Panarin, 4 points. You got it, big boy. Congrats.
Yeah, he's off to a good start for sure. Pickard would have been maybe honorable mention. I thought Pickard was good late in that game. I thought he really but Struddy, hey, that's 2 games in a row where the Oiler goaltenders have held through some key moments and let their team regroup and find the offense that they need. I know it's supposed to happen. That's what they're there for. But after the first few games, we're now talking about a couple of nights where they pushed it in the right direction, the goalies.
Yeah, you nailed it there. It's a great point. And yeah, Pickard would have probably been my guy. But as a backup, you give up 2 goals, the team's going to be happy. Even if they're 2 bad goals, they're like, we just want you to give us a chance. We should be able to score 3, right? That's the way teams think with their backups.
Got a little lucky with Ryan O'Reilly there. O'Reilly had room to squeak it in, and he put it into his pads. Like he had room there. He didn't get over in time. But hey, man, when you're playing well, sometimes you dodge the bullet. Okay, Zubie, hop back in. Let's get our YouTube poll out there. Brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center, helping you play better golf since 1999 with their TrackMan fitting bays, instruction after sales support, merchandise, and clothing. It's an awesome shop. Highly recommend you go see Scotty and Al, TJ, and the whole crew down at DeBoer's, 5311 99th Street. Zubie, little big picture here through 5 games.
Yeah, from the brain of Schauger, very good question here tonight. What is the biggest surprise to you of this young season so far? The options we got: the struggling power play, the play of Jeff Skinner, the positive, I believe, would be the positive play of Jeff Skinner, the sub 500 start, or Zach Hyman donut 0 points.
All right. So let us know your answers. And in our Ask Us Anything segment, we're going to do our best to remember to recap the poll, though that's not a guarantee. We tend to blow right through it like it's not even there. But jump in on that if you get a chance. When we come back, guys, we're going to dissect the power play a little bit, Struds, because while there were a lot of things that went fairly positive tonight, the power play is not one of the things that has turned around in a meaningful way just yet. Really want to get your takeaways on that, Struds. Still plenty more show left. You got it locked on to Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
Specializing in heavy-duty commercial truck powertrain repair, performance, tuning, and part sales, Adrenaline Diesel's professional team is ready to assist you with all of your needs, from the simplest oil changes to engine conversions, overhauls, and engine modifications. Featuring an all-new online parts store and machine shop to manufacture, replicate, or repair parts, visit adrenalinediesel.ca.
Ready to go all in this season? Mr. Dirk's got you covered with express on-site tailoring, a wide selection of craftsman-made suits, sport coats, and casual staples for every occasion. Score big with Mr. Dirk. We've always got your back. Visit us off White Ave, south of 102nd Street, or browse online at mrdirk.com.
Time now for takeaways, brought to you by Martin Motorsports, the Alberta Snowmobile Show at the Edmonton Expo Centers this weekend. And the whole lineup of Ski-Doos and Widescape stand-up snowmobiles will be on display, plus all winter gear and accessories at the best sale prices of the year. Check out Martin Motorsports at the Sled Show October 18th and 19th. They're not just big equipment. They got all kinds of apparel, Struds. I was actually surprised when we went by the shop. They're loaded up with, anything you need for winter wear. Martin Motorsports has you covered. Maybe we can find something nice and bright for you, Struds, to add to your winter lineup.
Yeah, I love to be seen, right? Something neon, obviously, glowing. When I'm walking the dog,
as opposed to the mauve. That hoodie. Like, I hope there's a wash in between. I think you're 4 out of the last 5 shows you've had that hoodie on.
Yeah, but I'm not sweating when I'm doing this, right? So if you put something on, you're not sweating, you take it off, do you need to wash it again?
How many times though? How many times would you put something on and take it off without? Would you go months without washing something?
Oh, absolutely. If I'm not sweating in it, what's the difference? Because I only pretty much wear it when I come down here. It's quite cool in the basement. So I don't have, when I went upstairs, I've just got, sometimes a tank top. sometimes no shirt, obviously. But so why do I have to wash it all the time?
I don't know. That's a little sketchy. I feel like that's greasy. Like the back of your chair isn't leather and sweaty on your back right now?
No,
you have a big
not at
salt
all.
stain on your back. No?
No, you made me get rid of the leather chair.
Am I the only one with a sweaty back right now doing the show?
Apparently. And too many lights in that room.
Okay, let's get to the Oilers power play, buddy. So it's supposed to be a big strength of this team, but they really are struggling to get it to click here. Now, the big guns are struggling to click in general at even strength as well. At least they have been through most of the first few games. But what are you? We'll get to potential solutions. But what are you seeing on the power play right now?
Yeah, so I think, give credit to Nashville tonight. What I liked about Nashville is they were getting behind Bouchard, who was coming up the ice, and being a little bit disruptive. Most teams just stay in front of Bouchard. They throw it back to Connor Leon, then Connor, I guess. And then up he comes and just gets easy zone entries. I thought tonight Nashville did a good job making him have harder zone entries. So right away, it even just throws him off a bit. I think you have not an advantage, but at least you've taken them out of their normal routine. Again, not so much tonight, but the power play so far has been a little bit off. They're passing. You catch it and it's a bobble, or it's just in someone's feet, or just out of their reach. And then the final piece is their inability to kind of get pucks into a higher danger area. We know where Leon likes to shoot, but either the pucks are getting blocked, or they're not able to just get a shot off because they don't want to shoot it because guys are in front of them. So I think moving the puck a little bit quicker. And being more direct when there's a shooting lane, get it there, then get some ugly goals like they did. Quite frankly, all four today, they were regular strength, even strength.
Yeah, they're resisting change, right? They're resisting any sort of change. There haven't really been any tweaks. If anything, they're leaning into more minutes instead of pulling them off earlier tonight. The timeout with the 5-on-3, right? You're going to give them that opportunity. Then they took a bunch of the next power play. And then the second unit comes on, and they're the ones that end up generating the goal shortly after the power play ends. So I think the fact that the second unit is actually looking pretty good, like they're doing okay for the little time they're getting, probably gives you some runway to just keep working on this, Struds. So cousin Steve in our text chain, our family text chain, throws this into the group tonight. Next power play, they should roll 97-29-2. 53 and 90. So cousin Steve is calling for replacing Nugent Hopkins and Hyman with Skinner and Perry. Wants 2 of the 5 to be swapped out. I think it's too soon for them to make any notable adjustments yet. Got to keep letting it ride until guys find their game. What do you think?
5 shots tonight for Hyman. I actually looked it up. He's getting around the net. Like he's getting chances in there. They're just not going in. Where maybe last year you could say that everything he touched went in. What do you have, 70 goals? Is that what he had between the regular season and playoffs? So, crazy. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. But I think it's a little early to change things up for sure. I let these guys sort it out. I think they should be given the benefit of the doubt because they've been doing it for so long and doing it together so well. Yeah, exactly. I think they're close to busting out. I really do. What did you think of Knobloch calling the timeout with 16 seconds left as in a 5-on-3 because there was called a second penalty there?
Yeah, well, the big guys were gassed. I think that matters. I think they were too tired to be able to stay out there effectively, even for just 16 seconds in a 5-on-3. So I think the idea of getting your top unit fresh, giving them that 16 seconds, plus a big chunk of the next power play, could have been a swing moment in the game. I was actually okay with it. It's like you're just before you start making changes and adjustments and stuff, you're just pushing all your chips into the middle with that power play. And that's what he was doing. Just keep them out there, keep throwing them out there, keep giving them that opportunity. It was an effort to get them going, but also at a swing moment in the game. I was good with it. You?
Yeah, that all makes sense, and I can get behind it.
Did I just change your mind? Did you bring it up because you didn't like it, and then I explained something and you changed your mind?
I was on the fence, and those are all the thoughts I had as well. But I'm also like, it's not like they've been killing it. Do you throw the second unit out there and maybe they surprise you? You know what I mean? Like this power play is below 10% right now. You know, so if there's no history at all with this group, would you have gone with the first unit still on that point when you're banging to below 10%?
No history. What do you mean no history? Like if they hadn't had the history of past success?
That's right. Yeah. If we knew nothing of what happened, if they all just joined this team this year, would you have allowed that to continue to happen? You might have put the second unit out there, right? Because it's not like it's just like, I get it. And I agree with you. I probably would have done the same thing. It's easy for me to sit here, Monday morning quarterback. Oh yeah, let's just change it up. It's easy. Let's just do that. But I don't know. It's less than 10%.
Interesting thought. It's an interesting thought. Here's what I'll say. If you know that a huge portion of your team's overall success is going to rely on the power play this season, and I think we all know that about the Edmonton Oilers, Knobloch knows that about his team, then I think you lean into opportunities to help them get through it instead of peeling away opportunity because they haven't been able to do it yet, right? I think it's too early to send the signal like, guys, you got to get it together here or things might change a little bit. I think it's just a touch too early to send that signal to that veteran dynamite power play group. Would have been the wrong messaging for me. Instead, it's like, nope, we know you're going to find it. Timeout, find your legs, go get one. I like that he's still leaning into making it work rather than starting to strip away opportunity. Is that a Rob Brown that we have? Brownie?
Oh, jeez.
I am here, boys. I'm in the house.
Nice, buddy. Nice. Well, you just checked in at the right time, pal. Struds and I were just picking the power play apart. And Struddy was asking what I thought of the timeout that Knobloch called to keep the big guys on the ice for the extra 16 seconds, 5-on-3, despite the struggles that they had. What say you about all that, buddy?
Oh, I was 100% in agreement. The bread and butter of this Oiler team is their power play. It has been for years. They've won a lot of hockey games. Their superstars are all on the power play. And anybody that's ever been an offensive player will tell you they get their offensive mojo from power play and getting power play points. It bleeds into their 5-on-5 play. The Oilers' power play is a little off right now, but it will be found. And the way to find it is to have them just continue to get reps, continue to play against good penalty killing units, continue to try different things. Because everyone wants to take away the one-timer from Connor to Leon. So now look for other wrinkles you can put into it. So I like the fact they called a timeout. They needed it. I think Bouchard was at about 3 minutes on his shift at that point. So I think they needed that. But no, their power play will get there. And it's good to see right now that they won a hockey game tonight without their power play contributing like it used to.
What did he say there, Struds? He said anyone who's been a skilled player knows.
I know
that you got. I think was that his way of saying, Struds, you wouldn't know this, but I feel like that's what he was saying.
No. I know that's true because they'd always tell us, man, I gotta find my groove. I gotta score. I gotta get out here. Like, so trust me, it's like, how do you know someone's a vegan? They tell you. Like, it's the same thing. How do you know someone's a scorer? They tell you they need it. Like, it's the same thing all the time. Like, I've heard it all. That I gotta find it. I gotta get me the puck. I'm trying to get you the puck, buddy, but you gotta come back a couple zones deep here to make it happen. Like, Brownie, I know
you're using that vegan line because nobody believes that Georgie Larocque's a vegan, so he has to tell us. So I understand that.
Oh, that was awesome. Struddy, Brownie, you can't see because you're not on video, but as soon as you said that, you got the eye roll from Struds and the head shake as soon as you said that. Like, anyone who's ever been a scorer knows.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah,
that's like why you're here, buddy.
Friends, like, just so you know, I am a doctor. Yeah, we know you're a doctor. All right, like you don't have to tell us every 2 minutes.
Yeah,
God, I play in the NHL. I don't wear my jersey when we're golfing.
Strud, if you had a cup ring, Struds, how much would you wear it?
I don't think very much. I don't even wear my wedding ring. So how would it look if I wore? What if I wore my Stanley Cup ring and not a wedding ring? What would my wife say? What was more important to you? Do you really want me to answer that?
That's awesome. Brownie, because you hopped in late, buddy, Struds and I broke it all down in the last segment, but maybe just give me a couple of your bullet points about what you liked and your overall thoughts about this game, because you're just joining us late here.
I like the Oilers 5-on-5 play. And for the first 3.5 games of the season, the Oilers looked slow. Tonight they didn't. Tonight they looked like they had pace to their game. The third and fourth lines continue to be factors in a positive way. I like Nurse stepping up in this game and taking a fight against a monster of a man. It was just, to me, it was, this is how the Oilers this is what we expected from the Oilers. They're going to have depth players that will contribute. The Henrique line was good. Terry, an unbelievable play on the goal that Skinner was credited for. And then their star players will come up at big moments. And we saw that with Connor McDavid. So this was easily the best 60-minute effort by the Oilers this year. From top to bottom, I thought it was a very strong game.
Did he just do better in 90 seconds than you and I did in 25 minutes in the first segment, Struds? More concise and to the point?
Well, he's listening. He listened in and just took the notes.
Well, Struddy, us offensive players, we learn how to talk.
Yeah,
you learn how to chisel points, and you, my friend, were chiseling points off of us for that little diatribe there. There were two things I want to point out. There were two things that I really liked. Struds, I thought of you immediately. I think it was in the third period. Adam Henrique, super conscientious shot block, right in the slots, right place, put himself in perfect position. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. It was a beautiful shot block right in the slot. And I thought right there, I feel like Struds is going to bring that up tonight. That might be our play of the night, the way you love Henrique's game. It was so good. But the other one that I loved, so the Oilers are somewhat hemmed into their own zone. Shot hits Derek Ryan's stick. It explodes, right? Now, normally if a D-man loses his stick, a forward will skate back and give it to him. Corey Perry gave his stick to Derek Ryan, the center, and Ryan ended up using that stick to make a really nice play and clear the puck. I just thought it was kind of cool, Brownie. You don't normally see a forward hand a stick to another forward.
Well, there's two things that can happen when your centerman loses his stick. A, your centerman and the winger flip-flop. And all of a sudden, the center will take off towards the point, and the winger will flip-flop and play down low. Or what Corey Perry did right there. I was a winger. In your own zone, we have the least amount of work to do. I have to look after the defenseman, and that's it. So
you have no work.
You can do it without a stick. Hey, I will be the first to tell you, there is no thinking as a winger. You get pucks out, you don't let your defenseman jump past you. So Corey Perry realizes, I can block that guy from there. Derek Ryan's down low helping out the defenseman. He needs the stick. And the fact that they're both the same hand, that's a good read by Corey Perry. Because as Fred will tell you, some players in the NHL are not as smart, and they will hand the wrong-handed stick to someone, not even thinking about it. So smart play by Corey Perry.
The ice crew has to think harder and work harder than a winger in their own zone. Any forward, any winger who makes a mistake, when a winger makes a mistake in their own zone, as a D-man, you look up like, you're serious? You have one job, and it's not even hard. Look at the guy behind you and not let him get the puck. I don't understand how wingers can't do it. I played wing. I was like, even I can play wing, and I was doing a pretty good job. I just don't understand. I do not understand how wingers can screw it up. God, it's frustrating.
Tough to get pucks out on the wall, Struds. That's a tough thing to do. Getting pucks out on the wall is tough.
Compete. See what you can do? Take a look. Is the guy pinching? How many times do you see forwards not look up? They're just on the wall. Holy geez, that guy pinched. Who could have guessed he was coming? Hey, man, you could have looked over your shoulder, see it if I was coming down the line. No, we don't want to do that. It's the same. So frustrating, wingers. God.
I can't even argue with him because he's right. I played once against the Rangers, and I was on the wing, and I had Brian Leach. And Brian Leach had the puck, so I'm looking at him. He passes down to the winger, so I look at the winger, and all of a sudden I see the winger make this beautiful saucer pass to Brian Leach, who jumped past me, walked in on a breakaway, and scored. At that point, I knew, okay, I'm going to have to watch a little bit better with this Brian Leach kid. He might turn out to be a pretty good player.
Crazy.
Love it. Struddy's on fire tonight. Okay, that's takeaways brought to you by Martin Motorsports. When we come back, we'll get Brownie's points. We'll get Struddy's World, our scoreboard, and ask us anything as well. Still lots of show left. Do us a favor. While we're in the break, hit the like button for us. Hit the love button and the like button. I don't think we have too many yet tonight, so let's get that going. Real healthy number on the YouTube stream, so our Ask Us Anything segment should be good as well. This has Got Your Back, presented by Play Alberta.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
At Gallery Dental, we believe in blending exceptional care with artistry to create the perfect smile for you. From routine cleanings to advanced cosmetic procedures, our team is dedicated to providing top-notch care in a relaxed and comfortable environment. With state-of-the-art technology and a passion for perfection, we ensure that every visit is a positive experience. Join the Gallery Dental family and let us help you achieve a smile that you'll love to show off. Contact us today at secolanddentistry.com.
With over 18 years in the industry, Kelly Zaretsky and her team at Blue Summit Accounting deliver client-focused solutions and financial guidance for success in a simple and comfortable way. Whether it's for corporate or personal needs, Blue Summit Accounting can help with taxes, estate planning, financial services, bookkeeping, and more. Get in touch today. Email bluesummitacct@gmail.com or call 780-416-9662.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy. Gotta look good.
Time now for Struddy's World, brought to you by Timber House Developments, where if you can dream it, they can make it happen. A truly customized building experience. You want something different? How about a dance floor in your living room? They can do that for you. An office with a cool slide in it. They can figure that out for you. They got you covered. Every house is unique. Every customer is like family. See what you can dream up with the great team over at Timber House Developments. Contact timberhouse.ca. Struds?
I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I do go in sometimes, right, to get a tea. I like tea. So anyways, I went to a local place, and it's always got a good vibe. There's a person at the counter, and then two of us, another person and me. So the person at the counter gets up there, and this lady, hey, can I get this type of coffee? No, we don't have that. Well, what do you have? What's on the menu? That's what we have. That's what we're making today. Well, if I get this, can I get this? Guy's like, no, that's not what we have, but we do have this. No, okay, well, but can I adjust this? No, you can't adjust that. What makes you special? And so for about 5-6 minutes, this lady kept going on everything on the menu she wanted to adjust. Everything. Now, I'm too deep. I'm in the second row. I'm ready to go off the top rope on top of this lady because it's so annoying. You're not special. If you want to make something special, you know where you can do that? It's called your kitchen. Go home. You can figure it out. Buy yourself a machine. There was not a tuna twist, a cinnamon twist. And she wanted to remove the cinnamon. It's why they call it a cinnamon twist, because it's a cinnamon twist. I couldn't believe it. I was losing my mind. It took her over 10 minutes to figure out what she wanted, place the order, and to agree that what was on the menu was good enough for her. I just want to look at her and say, you're not special. You're not special. If you don't want to get what's on the menu, don't come here. Go somewhere else. You don't go to McDonald's and order sushi, right? I don't go to Burger King and order pizza. get what is on the menu. I just can't stand it anymore. And it's so annoying. You're not special. And I think we should be able to call people out. You're not special. I'm trying to get my tea and my tuna twist or my cinnamon twist. Get the hell out of here. It's so painful. It just drives me crazy. And I'm probably not going back there again because I don't want to run into this lady who thinks she's special because she's ordering off the menu. God, it's annoying, boys.
I want a tuna twist. Can I get a tuna twist? You seem to be really pushing the tuna twist tonight.
She wanted a tuna twist in the morning as well. Well, can you turn that cinnamon twist into a tuna twist? No, we can't. It's the menu. That's why we call it the menu. I don't understand how that can happen. Hey, can I have a caramel milkshake at McDonald's? No, we don't have that because it's not on the menu. The menu is what we have. It's so frustrating. I was almost late for my next thing.
Shane Matheson thinks we should adjust our Relentless player. He says Struddy is relentless right now. Struddy, this last 7-8 minutes from you has been pretty relentless. Is everything okay? Like, is everything? Is there something else you need to get off your chest? No, is everything else okay? Like you're, between piling into wingers the way you did, now this poor lady with the cinnamon allergy, right? Some poor lady with a cinnamon allergy just trying to adjust her order a little bit.
There's no cinnamon allergy. I don't think that exists. Not if it was nuts. If she said she had a walnut allergy, or then I could see that. But when it was just her tone, her body posture, everything, and then she had
posture.
To get it. Oh, and the whole thing.
Posture issue.
Like she was mad they didn't have what she wanted. Well, then don't come here. That's not what they have there. Take what they have. I don't understand. I can understand that kind of arrogance. And honestly, like it almost ruined my morning. Luckily, I was able to get back in the car with my cinnamon twist and my robust tea, and I calmed down as I listened to Adele on the way to my next practice. Don't be
Gomez.
that person.
Gomez says Brownie puts Struds on tilt with the scorer's comment. Brownie, you did this. You did this, Brownie.
Well, I'm sorry, Struds. I'm sorry. I'm on your side, Struds. I'm on your side. I hate when they do that are in my standing line. It's one of those ones where you're like, okay, I got to go pick up my kids at school. I got 5 minutes. Do I have time for a coffee? No. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to rush it. And then you get in there and the person pulls out this sheet of paper. Okay. I need 6 half calves, hold the milk, 2 with oat, 2 with soy, and 1. Could you stir it a little bit extra for me? And you're sitting there like, no. And then poor Ben and Annie are standing outside by themselves, waiting for their dad who's getting a coffee. But I'm on your side on that one, Strud.
I'm afraid to tell you what
woman. I bet you that woman, Strud. I bet you she plays hockey and she's a winger too.
Go home, Strud says. I'm afraid to tell you my Starbucks order. I'm afraid to tell you.
No, but it's different because they can accommodate. Like if you say our half calf, decaf, whatever, just get it out. But don't get to the front of the line and then scan the menu, then try to order something that's not there. That is where, like, I would never walk into like an Italian restaurant and ask for sushi. You know what? I'd like sushi. Well, we don't serve that here, sir. Oh, you can figure it out. I bet you can figure it out. It's just that, or go to a gas station trying to get a haircut. Right? Like it doesn't work that way. Businesses have different things. I think this lady just needs to stay home. If I knew where she lives, I would drop off a mocha machine or whatever they call it. I don't even know. I don't have that stuff. I would get her one just so she'd stay home and make it there. And her whatever tuna twist she wants. God, I'll take a tuna twist with no tuna. Yeah. It's got a cinnamon roll.
Struddy's World brought to you. You're getting played off stage. Getting brought to you by Timber Haas Developments. By the way, the 3 of us on this pod all look like we get our hair cut at gas stations, I would say, if they were to cut hair. All right, Zubie, let's cheer Struds up with a little happy music. How about that Hamel's Premium Jerky Brownie Points music? The Alberta-based family-owned business opened in 1962, and their beef jerky's out of this world. Remember, they sent their sweet and spicy jerky to the International Space Station as part of a project to introduce authentic, space-friendly food. This food can go to space. Fast shipping anywhere in Alberta. Hop onto albertajerky.com for enter your promo code, Got Your Back, and that will get you 10% off. Brownie, just bring us a whole bunch of positivity. We got to bring the mood and the temperature of this pod back to normal.
Well, I've got 53 strong, big Brownie points for Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner, during the preseason, in the first couple games of the season, there were a lot of people wondering about that signing. Jeff Skinner's been excellent 3 games in a row. I don't think it matters which line he plays on. He's greasy, he's slimy, he hangs out at the right parts of the rink, he's in front of the blue paint. He's been excellent. That signing is looking better and better every day. Skinner was good in this game tonight. I've got 35 Brownie points for Calvin Pickard. When you can put your backup goalie in on the road against a desperate hockey club who many had thought were a shoo-in to be in the playoffs this year, and he can give you a quality start like he gave you tonight and get you a victory. He wasn't tested a lot early, but a big save he made on Ryan O'Reilly in the last minute in the game secured this victory. That was a huge start for Calvin Pickard. He had a rough first one in the season. He made up for it tonight in that game. And let's give 27 Brownie points to Brett Kulak. 2 goals for the first time in his NHL career. They were saying afterwards, they were shouting from the bench for him to try and get his hat trick into the empty net again. Kulak has been given the job of breaking in a number 6 defenseman. And he has done a very good job for the Oilers this year. An excellent game for Kulak. And my last, I got 2 more. I got 1. No, I'm going to give 5. 5 Brownie points to Philip Broberg. Philip Broberg got an assist tonight. Now, my partner, Bryn, told me that with the assist tonight, it's the first St. Louis Blues to get a point in the first 5 games of their career with that team. He's got a point in every game for the St. Louis Blues today. He assisted on the overtime winner. He ain't with the Oilers anymore, but Philip Broberg is starting his career with the St. Louis Blues. Good for him. And my last one, I have 150 Brownie points to Jason Strudwick. And every one of those Brownie points is signed with a little bow and a heart because he needs lots of hugs tonight. It was a tough day. Something is bugging him. But here's what I'm going to say to anyone out there. If you run into my friend Jason Strudwick tomorrow, without even hesitation, without asking for permission, give him a hug. My buddy Strud wants a hug, so I am allowing everybody to give free hugs to my friend Strud all day tomorrow.
Love it. Love it. Brownie points brought to you by Hamel's Premium Jerky. Gomez chimes in and says, can I get 10 brownie points, but hold the brownie, please?
It's probably that guy's wife.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Brownie, good stuff, buddy. I know you're probably getting home, so we will let you rip, and we'll chat after the next game, my friend. Nice job tonight.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
All right, see you, buddy. Okay, before we get to our Ask Us Anything segment, Struds, why don't we take a rip through the scoreboard tonight, brought to you by Canadian Club in honor of the founding year of the Canadian Club Distillery, 1858. The all-new Canadian Club Classic 18-year-old high proof comes in at an incredible 58% ABV for the whiskey connoisseur out there. Their highest proof Canadian Classic to date. It's a full-bodied whiskey with aromas of caramel, toffee, spicy vanilla, and rich oak with a butterscotch finish. And by the way, Struds, got the sample today, bud, so haven't had a chance to crack it yet. But this has just landed in stores here in Alberta. So if you go to liquorconnect.com and you can search Canadian Club, you can see which stores will have it. So looking forward to that this weekend. What do we got, buddy?
Yeah, looking good. Tampa, Vegas. We're going at it, and Tampa gets past Vegas, and Kucherov has 2 more goals. Talk about a good start of the season.
Yeah.
Both Kuch and and Tampa Bay are looking good. Canucks finally get their first win of the year against the Panthers. They had a pretty tough road trip, right? They walked through Tampa and Panthers, and they get overtime winner JT Miller with a pretty sick shot, I believe, far side. Against Bobrovsky to get their first win.
Pedersen's taking quite a bit of heat out there, eh?
Who's that?
Elias Pettersson. Quite a bit of heat on him in the early going here, eh, buddy?
But you know what? Okay, so Pettersson, for those of you who haven't been following, he had the second half of the year last year was not good. The playoffs were really, really bad. You wonder if you played well and they had Demko, although she loss wasn't bad. What does that series look like for the Oilers? And then, I had a bad knee and this and that, and he comes back, signs a big contract, prior to that, but hasn't been himself. So yeah, that's going to be a work in progress, because that's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines without much production. Yeah. And then lastly, we've got the Kraken right now over the Flyers about 10 minutes ago, but they're by 3. So I feel fairly confident calling that one as a victory for the Kraken. So, a lot of other Pacific Division teams that are hoping for playoff spots, especially Vegas and Vancouver in action tonight.
And Dallas got knocked off, hey? They lost 3-2 to the Cav. That was their first loss of the year, and of course, that's the matchup next for the Oilers. What day is that?
Saturday, 2 o'clock.
Saturday night, yeah. Or Saturday in the afternoon? Okay. Saturday afternoon, Oilers and Stars. All right, that was your scoreboard, brought to you by Canadian Club Whiskey. Zubie, hop on in here, my man. Let's get to our Ask Us Anything segment. Brought to you by our friends at BJ Electric Supplies, founded in 1976. BJ Electric Supplies is a full-line distributor providing quality wholesale electrical products for use in industrial, commercial, and residential settings. Proudly owned and operated in Edmonton. Visit bjelectric.ca. Zoobs?
How's it going, gang?
Good, buddy. Should we do the poll right away so that we don't forget it? You want to just do it?
Sure. Let me
do it.
Let me end it. Let's make it official here. All right, so where did my results shot go? Ah, there it is. All right. All right, so the question was, what's the biggest surprise of the young season so far? The struggling power play taking a huge chunk of the vote, 55%. The runaway winner for the biggest surprise. Zach Hyman's 0 points coming in second, 23%. The positive play of Jeff Skinner, 12%, and the sub 500 start, only 9%. So I would agree with that. I'm not, that did not surprise me. It was maybe the most disappointing part, but not surprising. And the folks agreed, nearly 400 votes. So
awesome. Yeah. Thank you for participating. What are the people saying, buddy?
Okay, I thought this was quite interesting. People were talking about the difference between playing fast and skating fast. Shane Matheson said speed isn't the issue, it's playing fast, and they have the last 5 periods. And then Jackie M here, kind of similar thought. Speed's not necessarily defined by foot speed. Puck movement can generate more momentum. Holloway and McLeod may have had quick speed, but it didn't necessarily translate to the scoreboard. Would you agree with that? Have you seen them playing fast versus the straight up foot speed?
Yeah, I think they're more connected, to use Knobloch's words. Where speed makes a difference is getting in on the forecheck and being disruptive, right? That's really important. The less time a D-man has to make play, the more likely it is to make the wrong play. And so that'll be something they have to kind of figure out. So, I saw it a few times today where they just chip the puck behind the D-men, and then the middle guy's driving the heels and able to get in around and pick that puck up rather than a deep dump in. So I think that's where it's going to it could challenge the Oilers here as they move forward.
Yeah, I think if you're not a fast team, you've got no choice but to play fast by moving the puck, and they weren't doing that earlier. I agree that they're starting to do it. I still do have a concern about the overall level of speed, though, because I think if you're not overly physical, and they're not, to be not overly physical and not overly fast, I don't love that combination at all. I think you got to be one or the other. If you're not fast, it's because you're bigger and you should be more physical, and they're not. The other thing it does to me, Struds, I think with real nice foot speed through the neutral zone, like you can create some odd man rushes. You can get the jump on some guys sometimes. You can catch guys flat-footed, and I don't think this team's going to do that as much this year as they did last year.
Okay, CK Pond, you knew this one was coming. Now the question is, do the lines stay the same since they're winning? We know that Dry and McDavid driving their own lines is more ideal, but does it feel different this year with the forward depth and with the third line getting on the scoreboard the way that they have been? Is that less of a big question now of having that top line stacked?
I think that I don't think it can be like that all year. I still think the big guys haven't unlocked their offense. 5-on-5 and power play. So, Hyman, does he have a point yet? He doesn't. That's not a red flag, but you're starting to get to, okay, like this guy's got to get a point, but because he's an important part of the offense. So, I talked earlier about one more 5-on-5 goal or power play, and this game's out of reach, heading into the third, right? They couldn't get it though. Let's
keep in mind too, Zubie, like, you've got your choice of Vasily Podkolzin or Matthias Janmark to play on that second line if you're going to play Skinner with Henrique.
Right.
So I don't see this forward depth. I see a third line that's come together nicely, and then I see a massive drop-off where Holloway, Fogle, those other guys would have been filling in that spot. They miss Dylan Holloway right now because you should not be seeing Podkolzin or Janmark anywhere near the top 6 on this team, but their middle ranks got thinned out big time, and we're already seeing it.
Okay, Dirty Curdy saying that the Knobloch effect following up 3 losses with going streaking through the quad. I thought of this, we didn't mention it, but I believe they have not lost 4 consecutive games ever with Knobloch as coach, right? Because that came up in the finals last year, and we saw it again. And so what do you guys think of the job coach has done? Obviously, those numbers, that could just be coincidence, but no doubt Knobloch seems to know how to tweak and get them out of these ruts.
They were in no position to lose 4 in a row last year with Knobloch. I mean, I guess they got comfortable later in the year, Struds, but after the way they started, 4 in a row wasn't an option for this group. So I think a lot of that's by necessity. But yeah, I think that's interesting, notable somewhat. They avoid the 4-game slide, but nobody expected them to be in the vicinity of a 4-game slide to start the year.
Yeah, they seem to be able to find a way to Knobloch finds a way to get the things right in about 2 or 3 games. And we saw that especially in the playoffs last year. He tinkers and he moves things around. Sometimes it's subtle. So that's would obviously say this is true because he hasn't had 4 in a row losses.
I'm going to pick one off here from Penner's Pancakes, Zubie.
Sure.
Nuge has been invisible so far. Jack hardly calls his name during the first 5 games. Struds, what do you think is a fair way to assess Nugent Hopkins so far this season?
Well, when Nuge is really rocking, what is he doing? Like what is he doing so well that he doesn't carry it all the way up like McDavid. He's smart. I think he just does everything right. And unfortunately, right isn't sexy all the time, so he's not like Leon. He's not like that. He's not Hyman driving the net, Bouchard dropping bombs. So now we're down to the 5th most entertaining Oiler. And, so Jack's probably not going to call his name a lot. So I think that his game is understated compared to others on the team.
1 assist, -4, 9 shots on net through the first 5 games. He is winning more than half of his faceoffs, which is good for him because traditionally he hasn't been good in the faceoff circle. So at least he's taking care of that. But I do agree, like through those first 3 games, they were looking for something from somebody, just something. And Nugent Hopkins is a player like a few of those other high-end guys. I think you should look at him and expect he would be one of the guys to try and pull you out of that, and didn't necessarily see a lot from him. So I would say, hasn't been good enough like a few of the other guys. And I agree with you, Struds. His game is a little bit understated, but sometimes you got to it should be okay to expect Nugent Hopkins to be able to be that guy that makes that play that the team really, really needs more often than he has so far.
Talking about the scraps and the team toughness, CG saying Nurse dropped the mitts because Stetcher dropped him the game before. And Nathan chiming in, he said, Schauger worried that there's no grit to the Oil. Do we still believe that? Was there just these are the guys, it's funny though, of course, maybe not Stetcher, but Nurse, Perry, these are the guys you talked about when saying those guys need to play that way. But is there a cumulative effect of or a copycat of seeing, Stetcher fought last game, Perry fought last game of these guys stepping up and doing it, Schauger?
I don't think so. I don't think it has anything to do with it, but I think Darnell Nurse wants to play better. And, I think he understands that's one of the things that you can do to kind of get yourself a little bit more engaged, Struds. He's not going to do it often. He knows he needs to be careful with it. But I like the fact that he was willing to do it in an effort to get himself going, in an effort to stand up for teammates and that sort of thing. I don't really think it has anything to do with the game before, though, Struds.
Yeah, I mean, I never felt like, oh man, that guy fought, so I got to fight, right? I never thought that. But you may be thinking, if there's an opportunity, maybe I'll do it. Just because other guys have done it, it kind of unlocks it a bit. But I never felt like X did it, so I got to do it. But yet Darnell, his game when he is being forceful and hitting guys and making strong plays and quick plays, he's a real handful because he covers so much ice and he's so big and he can make so many. He can be such an important member of this group, and I think he's working his way back towards that. And some stability of this partner would be good. Now, is he going to get that? Probably not, because Dermott can't sit for 20 games, or unless there's an injury, he'll get in there. So, especially if I go back, I think Emberson should just stay on the third pairing. I would just leave him there. Let him get confidence.
Couple more, Zubie.
Yeah, CK Pond says, does McDavid look a little off shooting? Shots don't seem to have the same zip they did prior to his injury last year. Do you think that could be lingering in any way?
I find sometimes Struds, he doesn't let it rip with everything he's got. He tries to place it a little bit, I think. But I thought he was shooting the puck pretty well tonight. My impression is good tonight as he had been.
Yeah, he doesn't have a bomb like Bouchard. So what he tries to do is get it off quicker before the goalie's set, right? That's what he tries to do, which is smart. It's easier to beat a goalie's not in place, as you know, Zubie. Not that happened to you last night.
Yeah. I'll grab a stat here too. There's they actually track that on NHL Edge. So anyways, continue on, Zubie, and I'll grab this between questions.
Okay, an interesting observation from Cyanide. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Goals against improving every game. You can follow the pattern. Maybe we got things headed in the right direction here, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the last two games have definitely been better than this. This one was the best by far. And they're going to need it because Dallas is a good team. You go right back into the Lions den. And then I think Carolina's coming, aren't they, on Tuesday, I think, if I remember correctly. So those are two pretty good, organized, well-coached teams. So, yeah, you want to be trending in the right direction, but it's just about getting your game in order. And then you kind of get the team game in order, then you kind of help individuals within that unlock whatever's going on, right? Not scoring or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. The NHL Edge stat, I knew they tracked some shot speed stuff. Just looking, top shot speed, 83.12 miles per hour this year. That's in the 65th percentile of the league. And I believe last year he was in the 87 range. So again, that's just the hardest shot that he's taken. So it's not great data, but just to give you an idea where he was shooting at, and he was in the below the 50th percentile with that last year. So I don't know if that really tells much of a tale. One more, Zubie, then let's wrap it, buddy.
Okay, good. Here's a non-hockey one from my high school buddy, Gord Parchewski. What are the boys' favorite band of all time? I know that's a big question. Maybe you can give one or two.
Gordo, can I buy a vowel? I'll go ABBA. I just love ABBA. I've always loved ABBA. Played at my funeral.
Excellent.
ABBA. What's your favorite ABBA song?
There's a lot, but I think Angel Eyes. Look into these angel eyes. One. It's such a good song.
Wow. I don't know that I've heard that. At least whatever you just sang, I don't think I've ever heard.
It's a B-side, I think.
It's a deep cut. But
good for you.
It's such a deep cut. Thank you for giving me credit, because I'm not known as a musical guy. Maybe that's why, because I like ABBA.
Really? I'm probably gonna have to go Tragically Hip, just because. That's a little cliche for a Canadian hockey guy to go Tragically Hip, but
no.
When I'm feeling, when I just want to throw some music on, hey Siri, shuffle Tragically Hip. That's just my go-to. And my phone might start doing it right now. Yeah, I think I accidentally did that. Oh, let's not let it do that. That is my go-to. That was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by
I'm
BJ
just gonna,
Electric Supply. Zubie, what's yours?
I'm going to give an answer too. You know what? I might not have said this a few months ago. It would have been in my group, but I'm really back big into Pearl Jam right now because I saw them in concert in May, and the new album is awesome. I've always really liked them, but when someone, a band that's been around for a long time, comes out with an album that's like so good that it reinvigorates your love for them, then you kind of remember how long you've been such a huge fan. So I'll say Pearl Jam is my all-time right now.
Favorite Pearl Jam tune?
Oh gosh.
And are you going to sing?
I'm not going to sing. Probably Black. From going right back to the original, to the 10 album, Black. And I have sang it, and I sang it at a wedding once because they had a band who knew the music but didn't know the song, and a friend of mine who sang it with me came and grabbed me. He's like, "Come on, he knew I had sang it at karaoke, so we sang at a wedding." A little bit.
Oh,
wow!
We'll do a karaoke show sometime.
That makes two of us that can sing. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I got your back charity karaoke episode. That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly.
The great Ian Hannamansing of CBC fame is on our stream. He's a big fan of Got Your Back, and we do know that it is the Ian Hannamansing because I saw him in the Oiler press box during the playoffs, and I was like, "Is that you?" And he said, "Yeah, I really like the show." So Ian, thank you for jumping on the stream. But Struds, his message is for you. He says, "ABBA, I'm shook." That from Ian Hannamansing. He's rattled that ABBA would be your favorite band. He does not approve.
No, and that's fair. I mean, everyone's got their own taste, and I think when it comes to music, I don't think there's a wrong answer, right? So I'm rolling with ABBA, and I have a very good playlist called Swedish Fish. It's all you can eat ABBA.
All right, as we roll the music, let's wrap it up with our play of the day, brought to you by Gallery Dental, taking the first step towards a stress-free dental experience. And see how the team at Gallery Dental has your comfort and well-being as their top priorities. Contact GalleryDentalYEG.com. Struds, what do you got for a play of the day tonight, buddy? Adam Henry block?
No, well, it is a block, but it was on the power play. The second shot from Steven Stamkos blocked by Ekholm. I think it was going to go in the net. And I think that was a key piece of the game I've been saving this whole time. I got a little distracted on the whole coffee thing. So Ekholm's block, it was huge. It was absolutely huge block.
He was good tonight too. Like, I guess we always just expect him to be good. So when he plays well, we kind of don't give him a lot of love when he plays well. He was good tonight. Darnell Nurse has put together a couple of games here, slowly building, as are the Oilers, who pick up a win tonight. That was our play of the day, brought to you by Gallery Dental. Okay, Struds, thanks, buddy. We'll chat with you in a couple of days.
Looking forward to it, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, Zubie, don't stay up too late pouring over your statistics, buddy. Thanks for a great show.
Just once a night, I just make sure everything's still on the up and up, and then I don't overanalyze. Just a check-in.
Final word to Ian Hannamansing. Love the pod. Thank you, Ian. That means a tremendous amount coming from a broadcast veteran like yourself. Big fan of Ian Hannamansing's work. Big fan of all of you for joining us here on the show. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream, for downloading us in podcast form. Throw us a review if you get a chance over on iTunes. We appreciate all the feedback. Hit the like button before you hop out. This has been Got Your Back. Thanks to Play Alberta, our title sponsor. We'll talk again soon. Cheers.